What's going on, guys? It's Connor from the Dolphins Dive. In today's video, we're going over Vic Fangio to the Dolphins as defensive coordinator, the fit, and the likelihood of that happening. So, without further ado, I'm going to hop right into the video. Obviously, Vic Fangio is every Dolphins fan's top target for defensive coordinator, mine as well. I think he is a must-get at the coordinator position because the transformation it will have and the impact it will have on the defense. So, my favorite thing about him is all the other candidates are kind of like young up and coming guys, unproven, unknown. You don't know what you're going to get. They could be phenomenal, but you don't know. Vic Fangio's a proven commodity. You know, you get Vic Fangio, you're getting a guy that has experience, has proven that he can be a defensive coordinator at the highest of levels, and he's done it before. Most of the other candidates haven't even called plays for the most part, or if they have, it's been for a short period of time. So I like his proven experience. He's been coaching since 1979, and his first DC job in the NFL was 1995. So he's obviously been coaching a long time. He's had a total of 6 defensive coordinator jobs, most notably with the Niners during their run with Harbaugh and Kaepernick when they went to the Super Bowl, and then with the Bears a couple years back. Both times there was top 5 defenses on multiple, I think, years. Won assistant coach of the year in 2019 for how good that Bears defense was. And obviously in 2021, the year he was fired, the defense was 8th in points allowed. He was fired obviously due to poor offensive production, not defense. The defense was always very good. We had firsthand experience when the Dolphins played him back in 2020, and Tua looked like dog shit, and then we put in Fitzmagic. Had a chance at the end of the game. We obviously had the pick, but he's a phenomenal defensive coordinator. He's got a great defensive philosophy, which I'm going to get into later in the video, but he'd basically be a plug and play. You hire him, he's the head coach of the defense. Mike McDaniel doesn't have to worry about it. Obviously, Mike McDaniel has to coach the entire team. He's responsible for the locker room and the culture set. But with that said, he doesn't need to really worry about defensive game planning or defensive input at all because Vic Fangio is 60-some odd years old. He's got so much experience that McDaniel doesn't need to really worry about the defensive side of the ball, which would benefit him and the offense, as well as the fact that you give Vic Fangio, he had top defenses with poor offensive play. So now give Vic Fangio good defense with good offensive play. The sky could be the limit. And the scheme Fangio runs would not really require a huge personnel overhaul. Obviously, there'd be some guys that wouldn't necessarily fit. But for the most part, it's a scheme change. We'd be going from more of a man team to a zone team. But I think we have players capable of being able to make that switch for the most part. And I'm going to go into some really great quotes on Fangio from other coaches. This from an article from Ted Nguyen of The Athletic. I definitely butchered his last name, but make sure you check that article out. It's very well done if you want to even get a further deep dive on Vic Fangio. But in an interview prior to the 2019 season, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur, 3 of the brightest offensive minds in the league, were all asked which coach's defense is the most difficult to read and attack, and all 3 of them answered Vic Fangio. So, I mean, that's a testament to him. It's also been reported that Mike McDaniel has very high thoughts about Vic Fangio. We interviewed Fangio yesterday, but it seems like this is the guy McDaniel wants as well. He's got a lot of respect for him and really wants him. I think it's more of it was reported today when the Jets hired Nathaniel Hackett that the job was his. It was up to him to make the decision. I think that's going to be kind of the same thing with Fangio. We're basically offering him the job. It's up to him now when he makes that decision if he goes with us or not. I don't think the Dolphins would not have offered him the job by now, honestly, but it just comes down to if this is the right job for him. But back to what I said, that whole quote about what McVay, Shanahan, and LaFleur said, it makes sense because the very following year, McVay proceeded to hire Staley from Fangio's staff. So that just goes to show how high regarded this style of defense is. And obviously, we faced the Chargers and Staley last year too, so we saw how good that defense can be if the right adjustments are made. Some teams don't run it correctly, or they do, but they just don't do it effectively. But if you're getting the guy that is the master of the scheme, he knows the ins and outs, like, you're getting that dude. That's why Sean Desai is a great candidate, but you don't know if he's going to be able to make those adjustments and those subtle changes to the scheme that'll take it to the next level. where Fangio literally knows the ins and outs of it. Last season there was an estimated 10 teams using that system. So once again, it's kind of like the Shanahan system, like how half the league basically uses it. But as for the defense itself, it's mainly a 2-high defense, which is a change-up. The Dolphins mainly were a single high team, and that means there's only one safety in the back end, where now we'll have 2, and it's a structure that limits explosive plays and forces offenses to stay patient and throw short. Once again, this is an article from Ted and Gwynn from The Athletic. Make sure to check it out. And then the front mechanics allow the defense to slow down the run with light boxes and commit more resources to coverage. So basically, we're not allowing explosive plays with too high safety and making them beat us by quick throws and the run game. So obviously, if a team has a very good run game, or if they're willing to stay patient and just take what's given, they'll be able to drive on us. And it's kind of a bend don't break kind of deal. But if you facing a guy that's overly aggressive or sucks at reading coverages, you could take advantage of him. And the thing is, they always show too high, but there's times where they rotate down. I saw even when the Cowboys faced the Broncos, I believe it was last year, it was a masterclass by Fangio and his ability to show too high. He would buzz a safety down, so he means it shows too high, the safety would come down, and it was masterclass. And it's mainly a defense that plays regular zone coverage, or they play match coverage, which is zone coverages but with rules that could turn zones into man coverage. It's confusing, but if you understand it, it makes a lot of sense. So that's things like cover 4. There's different variations of cover 4, cover 6, cover 9, and I'm sure he's got some other ones in there as well. There's some cover 1 traps and things of that nature. But Vic Fangio is basically a master of disguise when it comes down to this. He's really only going to rush 4 for the most part, rarely send blitzes, but he's going to prevent big plays, disguise coverages, mix and match it. And like I said, this is the guy you want because he is the top of the tree. You don't know, you know what you're getting is what I'm trying to say. It's not like we hire Sean Desai. It's like he's got some of this in him, but is he going to be able to consistently adjust and adapt? And that's kind of what's going to be most telling. But I know most of you guys want Vic Fangio. I sure as hell want him. I'm hoping we get a notification any day now saying we hired him, but who knows? I'm going to continue to make these videos on all the defensive coordinator candidates we've interviewed. Desai, Campanelli, Fangio, and Chris Richard. So I'm going to try and get videos out on all of them. Obviously, if we make a hire, there won't be videos out, but until then, I'm going to continue to do deep dives on all of the top candidates. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment and subscribe to help the channel grow. And until next time, I'll catch y'all.